right, a very warm welcome back. We are in the Eastern Cape today, Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, Ibai, and we're talking to the Premier of the province, as well as two newly appointed mayors, and also the MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. And just before the break, I asked Premier Masualle about some of the initiatives that he had put into play to try and kickstart and create change and accelerate the service delivery process in the province. So let's just get a quick response from him before we start getting your questions via Twitter and also our audience here. Premier?
Well, thanks, Peter. There is this expression that seeing is believing. We have said quite a lot of things, and I'm very happy to say that we are on course. In fact, a very easy one is your own testament here. Mm-hmm. We said we will be accountable. Mm-hmm. We are going to engage our communities. We are going to talk to our people continuously. Yourself have just affirmed that we're doing that. We said we're going to concentrate on infrastructure development, and I cannot agree more with the comments by the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee nationally. In fact, it also affirms what Rajesh was saying here, that the infrastructure build program countrywide that's driven from the PICC locates the province very well in terms of the economic capabilities we have as a province. If you are traveling in the province, everywhere people are complaining about delays on the road. There is visibility in terms of the roads build program. We are working hard to release the potential we have because we're a predominantly rural province in terms of the agricultural potential that we have. In fact, everything is heading here because the province is positioned well to be the food basket of the whole country. If you're looking at what's happening in Mpumalanga regarding the agricultural potential there, because some of the endowments we have countrywide, mining elsewhere, the province is very rich. We've got rivers, we've got huge tracts of land, and in fact, we are going to be providing the country with food in no time. We're working on infrastructure. I think making sure that we are connected well, the infrastructure for purpose of logistics. Our harbors, as reflected there, are getting attended to. We have a strength in terms of the manufacturing capability. At the moment, we have the strongest the auto sector is strong in the province. We're working to ensure that that capability is enhanced. I can really say that we are a province at work. We do have challenges elsewhere, but we are making interventions. I think also today is but a testament in the area of ensuring good governance, delivery of services, the integration between the three spheres of government. We're all collaborating, and we are here. And if anybody says this is a place to be in the next 7-10 years, it's going to be a completely different place. All
right, okay, we certainly look forward to that. Let's go to our tables now and start getting some questions from our audience here and also you at home at Morning Live SABC. But we start at table number 11, where we find Tukela Zumani. Table number 11.
Thank you very much. My name is Tukela Zumani. I'm projects manager at a very young and very progressive company by the name of Improvate Logistics. My question is directed at the Premier. As a young professional, I bear first-hand experience with regards to the difficulties one faces when they're trying to launch a career of any sort in the Eastern Cape. As a matter of fact, many of my peers couldn't wait to graduate back in varsity so that they could jet off and start careers in Durban, Cape Town, or Joburg. And my question to the Premier is, what is the province's plan to arrest the skills drain or the brain drain from the Eastern Cape? I thank you.
Okay, this is a question that comes up all the time. And, you know, when we look in history, the people who were born in this province have gone on to lead the country, lead the struggle, do so many things. How do we harness that spirit and keep it in the province?
Well, let me say that it's a very valid point. We've got to, though, deal with the mindset again. We're looking to find things that are already high up there. yet we lacking focus in developing what we have. We need the expertise here to help our people grow their small enterprises. Sometimes the efforts that we have from different points in government fall short of appreciating the dynamics in terms of the market environment. And some of those skills can help our people. I mean, I was making an example the other day of a very bold effort on the part of Transnet to support local communities, villagers to build, to have their own bakeries. But the problem, if you have not looked at how you connect to markets, the supply and all those things, if they are not well thought out, that's where we need our youth, those who come out of school to bring their sharp ideas, expertise in that level, to grow these, massify them. And in fact, that's how some of the bigger places grew from. So we must not have them going away. They must stay here. Let's work together to develop what we have.
All right. I want to get 2 comments from the mayors, because you guys are at the rock face of all of this. And I'm just wanting to get a sense from you, what are you going to do to really get this thing going, to make sure that you become not a slowly growing province, but that you lead the way?
No, I think the point that was raised is a serious problem for the Eastern Cape. We have, in our metro, only 12% were graduates in this metro. And part of it is that we have to focus on economic development, growth, and job creation. And we have to get more skills. Skills retention strategies must be strengthened. And so when we started, the first thing that we said, that if you want to have economic growth, then this metro cannot table a budget as it did in March with a 400 million deficit projected. So that was in March. When we started on the 28th of May, we said we are not going to table a deficit budget. We want a cashback budget. We want, even if a small surplus, we want a surplus. So from 28th of May, on the 18th of June, we tabled a budget before the council with a cashback, with a small surplus, and that was approved by the council. And that we've done in a few days that we took offer. The second thing is that we've strengthened our mayoral committee. We had a strategic session, developed very clearly the main focus areas and the objectives that we want to achieve. We had an engagement with the Chamber of Commerce. We spent a whole day at Cogta, and Cogta has about 30 investors there. On the 17th of July, we're having another delegation of foreign investors wanting to come to the metro. And those are the things that we have to do. But alongside that, we were looking at question of energy as a key issue, and water. And so you'll see our budget is looking at investment in those areas. For example, the Nooitgedacht project that we want to see accelerating to its completion. So yes, we have to move beyond. We had 1.2% growth. The province as a whole has 1.1%, national 2.2% growth. So what the Premier said is that we have to do those things to see growth in the Eastern Cape. And what I've seen over the last few weeks, and particularly over the last 3 days, and engaging with the business sector in this metro, I am certainly energized and convinced that we will turn around the economy of the metro. And I'm very happy with the financial report from Buffalo City, because these 2 metros will be the engines and the catalyst to transform economic development in our province, and hope that now when you complete it at Rhodes or at Nelson Mandela Bay and at Fort Hare, that you will encourage all your colleagues to remain here, because we need you.
Okay, Mtsi.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Maybe not far from...
How do we shift your area particularly? Because the automotive industry seems to be the major contributor. How do we shrink its contribution, not in the sense of doing less, but that the others become more as well, contributing to your economy?
Yeah. No, thank you very much, Peter. I think, as you say correctly, the economic base of Buffalo City centers within East London, and the main contributor being Mercedes-Benz, but also linked to that, the IDZ serve as the catalyst of economic growth in our area. But there are other potentials elsewhere which we're considering to explore, by the way. And if you go to, because our metro is semi-rural, the other focus that we are trying to ensure that we strengthen is around issues of rural development in our area. But there are other potentials within the city itself. And if you look at the port, there's been plans to expand the port. I think we agreed to revisit those efforts. But beyond that, the IDZ, we had sessions with the IDZ. They've raised their concerns and on a number of issues that would assist in ensuring that they remain the strong base for economic growth in our area, like the transition from IDZ to SCZ. What is it that we can do to assist them, whether it has to do with the issues of funding and issues of providing structural services and so on. So we're considering strengthening those avenues that already exist. But going to the issue of skills, we have had sessions with the Border Kai Business Forum. So one of the issues they raised to us is the abundance of scarce skills that they have in their possession. Now, we agreed we have a partnership with them. We agreed to look at the possibility of tapping from the skills, the skill base that they have. They've got planners, they've got engineers, and so forth, whilst we're still on our side and striving for the development of such scarce skills. So we're also looking at the township of Mtsi and to try and elevate Mtsi into a really metro township. But beyond that, Bisho as the capital town of the province and being hosted by Buffalo City Metro, working with the province, we're considering some huge infrastructural development there as well. So I'm saying, therefore, perhaps the issue of skills and focus on youth, Buffalo City has got a policy with respect to our procurement policy. There is a commitment that 20% of our procurement should solely focus on benefiting the youth. On the 30th and 31st of July, we are planning a workshop which will focus on the review of our economic development and strategy. We are intending to invite all the relevant stakeholders where we can share some ideas on how to strengthen our economic base without only looking at huge investments. But the last thing that I would like also to raise is the fortunate thing, we've got local business people who have the capacity to invest. But in our case, Buffalo City, I think the concerns that they were raising are issues of stability and creating that environment that will ensure, because there seems to be a fear and anxiety of possible risk if there is perceived instability within the municipality and so on. So that's why we are on the other side saying that one of the key focus areas on our part is to ensure that we strengthen the issues of stability within the municipality.
All right, okay. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, MEC, I want to ask you, because all of these plans are great, but they can only happen if you've got the right people doing the right things. And corporate governance is a big issue there. And I want to get a sense from you how you're managing that across the province. And we'll discuss that and get your questions as well right after this break.